Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Kneon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And she's not going to miss a chance to sit in on a video with half-naked Henry Cavill.
Who would?
I wouldn't either. No.
Yeah, I know you wouldn't.
No. We're going to talk about this. This meme is making the rounds again, this news headline. I don't know if this is real or fake. I found a real article, but a lot of people sharing this all of a sudden. Gen Z fans accuse Hugh Jackman and Henry Cavill of promoting unhealthy body standards.
Well, that looks like a healthy body to me.
Well, yeah, no, people don't realize you have to basically starve yourself to get that kind of definition.
Well, that's true, but I'm just saying, I mean, that's a lot healthier than, you know, my body.
The alternative, it's a lot healthier than having, you know, the other kind of six-pack in your hand. The egg shape?
No, I said the keg.
Oh, the keg. I thought you said the egg.
No, the keg.
The egg or the keg. All right. So let's talk about this, guys. I did find an article. So apparently people were actually pissed off about it. So it's beyond parody. So here we go. Before you get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, rants. You'll get a woohoo if you do.
Woohoo.
Check out Clownfish minus our Plus Club. We also have merch out there, guys. Help the reef. Thank you very much. Go out to clownfishtv.locals.com as well for more exclusive content. So yeah, this is the article I found. We're going to talk about this, and then we're going to talk about the, we're going to dredge up the She-Ra drama again.
It gets me. It's like people are like, why? We have a superhero and she's fat. And I'm like, I'm like, why would that? They wouldn't probably be. If they're out there fighting crime all the time. You know, it's like Wonder Woman shouldn't be so skinny, and it's like, you know, but she's an Amazonian,
right,
you know, like goddess thing, and they're like, of course she's going to be, you know, fit as opposed to looking like Spinnerella.
Remember, like, so the Netflix She-Ra show, which was a freaking disaster, depends on who you ask. I mean, as a She-Ra show, I mean, if they call it something else, whatever, I don't care. They made sure that they had like one of every possible ethnicity, body type, gender identity.
Alphabet.
Yeah, it was like the most like, just, you could tell they're going down the list, be like, okay, this is the character that's going to be non-binary, polyamorous, thick-legged, thick-thighed, whatever. And so they had Glimmer, Teen Vogue, of course, is Teen Vogue. They also teach kids how to have sex too, which
butt
is
sex,
freaking weird. Yes, butt sex. Not on She-Ra, but anyway, Glimmer. Yeah, so they put the dolls out, and the doll wasn't fat enough, and
yes, they were mad about that too.
But Spinnerella. So this is a character that is as light as air, and she flies, she flitters about, and they made sure that she was the thickest character on the show. Mm-hmm. And people are like, what the hell is up with this
Most
character?
of the jokes were about her farting, but yes.
Yes. So anyway, let's read this. This is coming from Fiction Horizon. Fans claim both Hugh Jackman and Henry Cavill are promoting unhealthy body standards.
What fans?
What fans? Gen Z fans, apparently. So they're like going through like, this is what a superhero is, guys. But here are some of the comments, right? Let's talk about Hugh Jackman's ridiculous Wolverine physique. Don't worry, no spoilers.
You know what the thing is, though? Dude is how old? And he still has it.
Yeah.
You know, what's your excuse?
Yeah, I know, right? Like, if Hugh Jackman can get jacked at 50, 60 years old, or however the hell
I know he's older than we are.
Oh, yeah, he's way older.
Way older than us, yes.
If you've seen Deadpool versus Wolverine, you'll have seen Hugh Jackman looking jacked and juicy. Mm-hmm. And every time a big Hollywood actor gets shredded, mega buff or both, there's a lot of media attention and fans going wild. These are the positive ones, right? Brad Pitt in Fight Club, Gerard Butler in 300, Chris Hemsworth as Thor. They had to make him Fat Thor, though. Remember, they had to make him Fat Thor. Mm-hmm. Yesterday, someone tagged me in a comment saying these kinds of physiques can be dangerous when people assume that is normal. I agree 100%. So I worked in a gym years ago. When I was a teenager, I worked in a gym, and we actually had people go to the gym that looked like this. It was a gym in California. Now, what I learned, and it was actually one of our physical trainers, was a professional bodybuilder, and his name was Gary. He was a real nice guy. I mean, he looked like Freddie Mercury. So jacked Freddie Mercury, right? But he said he hated doing shows it was a part of his income, but he hated doing it because he had to basically starve himself to be able to get that shredded. Like he was like, oh, I just eat like tuna, like a can of tuna, and like, I'm so hungry. He's like, people don't realize, like, we're on stage and we're flexing and we're looking all strong and stuff. He's like, most of us look like we're gonna fall over.
Yes, and that's probably true. And I'm sure it is, because I talk about different actors who complained about it. And I'm 100% sure that you're correct in that regard. But my point is that, but that's a believable superhero body. But they're superheroes for a reason. They're not supposed to be like normal people. So if you're playing this character, you're going to have a body that's built that way. However, there are real people who look like that.
Yes.
And, and some of them is harder for than others. And I'm sure they have to go through ridiculous things. I said Channing Tatum said that he was diet for Magic Mike was not healthy. Henry Cavill said he dehydrated himself so much he could smell water.
Henry Cavill's not wet enough.
Zac Efron said he took prescription diuretics and his Baywatch diet was so strict he felt like he got depression, and he never wants to be that lean again. I don't blame you, dude. I wouldn't want to be either.
Well, that's the thing. People don't realize to get that definition, it's not just enough to be in shape. It's not just enough to lose weight. People are taking like diuretics and they're like going basically just crash dieting. So they have like no fat, no water on their body at all. So you can see like every muscle, because it isn't normal. I wouldn't say it's unhealthy necessarily. Cause how it's going to be twisted by people is like, oh, well, then it's better to just be fat. I'm like, well, no. It's not better to just be fat. And she knows that, like, nobody talks about Lizzo now because she lost weight. And nobody's talking about Rebel Wilson, except that they were, like, skinny shaming her for losing weight.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
But they're saying, like, superhero physiques could look incredible and a lot of people look up to them, but I'm not denying this. It's true. They're like, but I'm afraid people or kids are going to go do that. It's like, most of them aren't. Yeah.
No, this is right. Hugh Jackman says he goes on an ultra strict 3-month diet and finishes with 3 days of dehydration, just like bodybuilders do in the contest. Yeah, like I told you, my guy Gary, he was just like, and he was such a nice guy too. And he was just like, I am so damn tired. He's like, I hate these shows. I hate these contests. Cause he's like, when I'm done, he's like, I just go like buy a whole freaking pizza and just like stuff my face. Yeah. Cause he's like, but, yeah, so it's funny though. This is because
of the meme.
Because of the meme. And the thing is that they're going to get the wrong takeaway from this. They're going to be like, oh, that means that being in shape is bad. And there are people out there. I think it's more millennials than Gen Z, but they're like, oh yeah, being in shape is bad because it makes me feel bad when I see thin people.
But it's just like, here's my thing though. It's like, for real people, yes, you probably should look like that because it's not normal or natural. That being said, a lot of people are mad about animated or cartoon or comic book portrayals of superheroes too. And it's like, but they're going to look like that because if they were doing these things, they're a superhero for a reason. You know what I mean?
Right.
And in reality, people don't really look that way. But you can. And some people, work out and they look pretty good. But the whole idea, like, people who's like Superman should be fat is stupid. I'm sorry. Spinnerella should be fat is stupid. They complained about the dolls all look the same and they were all thin.
I remember that. It was so funny. Like, I mean, this is the thing. I cannot believe we're at a point. Here we are, almost 2025. We're at a point where we're looking at 2018 in the rearview mirror and we're like, my God, it was so ridiculous. It was just so ridiculous.
They're fat shaming, backlash. Bitch, I'm fat, and I thought it was stupid.
Oh my God, fans needed this version when they were kids. They needed to know that, and I think this came from there was a Valiant comic. I think it was Hope, and her power was she flew. Also, she was very heavy. But she wasn't heavy, obviously.
Ironically, then there was a Korean show, and it was the family had superpowers, and the sister couldn't fly anymore because she got fat.
Oh, my God.
And her superpower was that she could fly, but she got too fat to fly. But then it turned out that I think it was just her own anxiety holding her down, and she could fly, and she was fat. But it was funny.
Well, I think this is what they're doing, though. Like, and I think they're going to walk it back in media, because this is why I think they destroyed Thor. They made him fat, depressed, dad bod Thor because
people felt better about themselves.
So they felt better about themselves. I'm like, well, if everybody's a superhero, then nobody's a superhero, right? I mean, the whole thing is the superheroes are supposed to be idealized versions of ourselves, people we could never be. And I'm not talking like their moral integrity. I'm talking just their powers, their abilities. we could never really be them. And even superheroes, like they explain with the Flash, especially, like his metabolism is so ridiculously high. I mean, he could clean out a pizza parlor and not gain an ounce. And I imagine it works that way with a lot of other characters too. Like I think it's, within the confines of a comic book or a movie, it's very realistic. If you're shooting like energy bolts out of your fingertips or your eyeballs or something, you probably burn a lot of calories.
Right. So I think it's more unrealistic to expect, these people to be fat because, somebody sitting on their couch feels bad. It's like, and it's surprising to me, Steve, about with dudes, because usually you hear this argument for women more so than men, because you got some people arguing like He-Man is, and stuff like that. But most of the time, most dudes are like, that's stupid because we know that's, He-Man's He-Man and he's not supposed to be like us. You know what I mean? But it's usually in regards to women, you hear it more than men. But it's all stupid. So what? They're not real.
I forgot the description for Spinnerella. This is the official description. Spinnerella is not tied to a specific kingdom, but she's always been a staunch ally for the rebellion. By spinning, she can create cyclones of wind to blow the enemy away. But they're talking about all the fat phobic trolls and
yes, except I'm fat and I thought it was stupid.
Somebody
tell me.
I love you.
No, I mean there's other people. I love you too.
It's interesting though. Somebody was putting together a compilation on X of all these body positivity influencers. Mm-hmm. And a lot of them were like, 400, 500 pound people. And a lot of them are dead.
Are they really? That's awful.
It's awful. It's horrible. But I mean, it should be a wake up call too. Like, yeah, it's unrealistic to look like Hugh Jackman. Unless most
people don't expect you to look like Hugh Jackman.
But you should at least take care of yourself and not weigh 500 pounds. Okay. Like but
some people do for other reasons that aren't their own fault. But
I get that. But if it's within your ability to change your body, and I don't think it's fair to attack people who are heavy just because they're heavy or make assumptions about people that they're just lazy, whatever. They must eat all day and 10,000 calories. I mean, in some cases, people have a really hard time losing weight or they gain weight because, thyroid issues or whatever it is. And that's legit, right? But if it's within your ability to stay within the boundaries of a healthy weight, it's in your best interest to do so. You're not going to live to be 90 if you weigh 600 pounds. This is not going to happen, right? That being said, I don't know if a crash diet's really good either.
But I mean, I just like, they're complaining about people who they are unhealthy in the fact that they're not realistic because these guys are doing it for a movie. They have special diets and training and everything else to do it. And then they don't look like that normally. No. Because most people don't. Even the bodybuilders don't look like that all the time.
They don't.
But most people understand that. Like they're playing a superhero. You can't say look like a normal person. It is what it is. And just
deal with it.
Yes.
Suck it up. It's just a movie.
No one's expecting kids to go look like that. But I don't see how it's any different. The women have been photoshopped for years, and the women are expected to be that skinny, and there's no physical way you can be. Obviously, you don't have any organs, but that's a whole other argument.
Where are her organs?
Yeah, pretty much. Well, it's not wrong.
Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. We'll talk later.
Bye.